Welcome back, YouTubers, to our TNA Genesis 2013, the first pay-per-view of the year for TNA preview video of us, the British Fist.
Catching.
Mr. Parkin here. A long dramatic pause as I wait for NJ to do his What's Up gimmick that he's so famous for here in the YWC.
What's up?
So like I said, TNA's first pay-per-view of the year, the first of the big 4 pay-per-views of the year, and they've changed their pay-per-view schedule around a little bit as well. They're having 4 big pay-per-views of the year, and I believe 7 sort of smaller pay-per-views, which are only going to be $15. It's a good direction for TNA in my opinion, but we're going to give more of our opinions on that in a later video, I assume, or a British Fist Wrestling rundown at some point down the line.
It'll probably come sometime next week, because this is going to be a big talking point where we'll bash the good and the bad in this topic.
Bash the good and the bad, eh?
Oh, yes.
As we always do. Anyway, comment your thoughts going into Genesis down in that comment section below, and describe your attitude going into Genesis and how excited you are, how little excited you are for the show, just in a couple of sentences.
What video are we doing again?
The Genesis preview video for this Sunday.
Okay. That's it.
That's all you have?
I didn't know it was this weekend.
You didn't? Well, to be honest with you, you wouldn't have thought it was this weekend by the way TNA had built it. I hate to say this, and a lot of guys on TN Asylum are really not going to like what I'm going to say here. It kind of feels like a WWE filler pay-per-view, in the sense that you may have matches announced, but a lot of them feel very last minute. A lot of the matches I'm not really too interested in. I mean, the main event segment of the Go Home show was hyping for next week's Impact in the wedding of Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan, which had nothing to do with this pay-per-view.
It's TNA's creative ideas, you see, because they know that Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan is bigger than the World Heavyweight Championship. They know it is. Bully Ray marrying Brooke Hogan is bigger than Aries, Rude, and Storm.
Hey, to be honest with you, though, for TNA, ratings are a big deal, and it looks like that's what they're going for here. But not a very good start to the whole 4 pay-per-views a year thing they're going to do, or 4 big pay-per-views a year that they're going to hype towards. But very little excitement going into Genesis, nowhere near as excited as I was last year for Genesis. I guess we should get straight into the card. In what feels like a WWE-style last-minute Book Divas match, we have a number 1 contendership knockout gauntlet match between Gail Kim, ODB, Miss Teschmacher, Mickie James, and Velvet Sky. You know, again, this is just the epitome of last-minute writing for the knockout division. Could they not have written a feud or any match? You know, they returned Velvet Sky, had her overshadow the match at freaking Filler Resolution, and now she's just involved in a gauntlet match, and she hasn't even written on TV or anything.
Well, look at this match, and I'm glad they're getting more than 1 knockout involved at a pay-per-view, giving them all something to do, making them all earn a paycheck. But the way it goes down, the Go Home show didn't really advertise this, show these knockouts fighting or anything at all, so that's why I think Sky's going to probably get the win.
I think if Velvet Sky get the win, I just wonder if they're going to have the match at the pay-per-view, if they're going to have it on a TV show further down the line. I don't really know, but either way, I'm not really that interested in this match. The Knockouts division has been stale for quite a long time now. May as well give Velvet Sky the win here. Then we move on to the Aces and Eights matches, and I think it's fair to say that we've lost all interest in the Aces and Eights match, especially since 1-3-13. It's just an angle that we do not care about right now. One character I do care about, though, is Joseph Park. Now, I do care about him, but he did graduate from wrestling school very early, but he wanted a match against Devon, and he's getting his match with the Sergeant-at-Arms of the Aces and Eights. What do you think is going to happen here?
I honestly really don't care about this. Number 1, it's not just me feels this way. There's Mr. Parkin, there's Terminator NJ, and many of the YWC members. But when I look at this match, it's not for the championship. Devon's fighting Parks. Okay, Parks is probably going to pick up the win. Because why go through wrestling school? Why go against Hogan if you're just going to go into your first match back and lose?
It's another sort of last minute on the card. Let's try and shove some Aces and Eights on there, even though really quite now we just don't care about the Aces and Eights angle. They may as well have Joseph Park win this match, to be honest with you. At the rate the Aces and Eights are going, they may as well do it. We also have Doc versus Sting. Sting made his big return on the 1-3-13 show where he took out the whole of the Aces and Eights faction. So why would I believe that Sting is gonna lose to one member of that Aces and Eights faction that he took out 7 or 8 of them of?
There's a small part of me that just says, for the fact we've got 2 Aces and Eights matches, the fact that Sting won on the Go Home show, why not give Doc his first win over Sting? But in this case, the fact it's Sting, who didn't wrestle as much as he used to. I think they're going to give the win to Sting, making sure the Ace and Eights don't get a pay-per-view win at all.
Hell, indeed. They haven't really had Ace and Eights win any matches, and with Sting only just returning, it kind of makes sense to have him win here, to be honest. They may as well just kill this fucking angle already. End it at Lockdown, please. Just end this Ace and Eights angle at Lockdown, please. But anyway, moving off from that and on to the X Division. Now, we've had this tournament going on where they've had 2 semi-final matches. You've had Zema Ion versus Kenny King and Christian York versus Kid Cash, I believe. In the X Division tournament final, we're going to have Kenny King versus Christian York. I hope this is a good match. I hope this should be a good showcase of Kenny King, as I do believe that he is going to be the one that's going to face RVD later in the night. I think they have to do it in terms of the story that they've written between these two lately.
2 things I want to say about this is, number 1, X Division, not X Division. X Division, not X Division. I really don't care. TNA are struggling to keep the X Division as a focus on their show compared to other wrestling businesses. They have the X Division. So yes, they're bringing it back. Yes, they've had a short tournament just to make this match happen. And I expect this match, King versus York, to be better than the Rob Van Dam match, just because I don't think Rob Van Dam is X Division styled compared to these two. But out the winner, I do think this is going to be King's moment.
Well, I do believe the tournament, while it wasn't set up very well, at least allowed the X Division to be featured on TV, which is something that we can't really be saying for the X Division from Bound for Glory onwards, even though they give the belt to RVD. King versus York should be a good match. I fully expect Kenny King to win here, and hopefully they will give Kenny King the title win against Rob Van Dam later on in the night, especially as they've been building up this storyline between the two. Do I feel RVD will do the job on pay-per-view? No. But do I hope that Kenny King will win the X Division Championship? Yes.
For this point now, I think with the teasing of the feud, the little moments they've had together, this being their second or third match against each other, I think this should be Kenny King's moment. I think even if he has to cheat to win, foot on the ropes again, I just want Kenny King to take the belt, Rob Van Dam, and retain it.
Hell, it is 1-1 between RVD and Kenny King, so we never thought it would get that far, but hopefully Kenny King can get the win here and he can go on to keep the X Division Championship until Option C. That's all I'll say. Tag Championships next. Morgan and Joey Ryan versus Chavo and Hernandez. Chavo and Hernandez, as we said many times, are just champions that we do not care about right now. So right now, I would say stick the titles on Morgan and Joey Ryan, please, because at least they, with Matt Morgan on there, could be interesting some kind of way.
I think with Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan, them having future storylines or future build-up towards something, they deserve or should have the win, because Chavo and Hernandez don't really have too much direction going on for them, while Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan could benefit being the champions before they grow on something else.
And TNA really need some more tag teams, don't they? I mean, they've had to stick Morgan and Ryan together because they haven't got really many alliances, and the one alliance they have in Daniels and Kaz is doing way better work than what should be warranted in the tag team division. Chavo and Hernandez as champions have just flatlined. Hopefully Morgan and Ryan win the belts here. That's all I can really say about this match. And hopefully they'll highlight Matt Morgan a little bit, as I do believe he needs a bit better booking after what happened at the last filler resolution. That's all I'll say. The match that we're going to talk about before the main event is Christopher Daniels versus James Storm. You know, a couple of months ago, if you said to me these two were going to feud, I would have been very excited. But since James Storm's character has kind of flatlined a little bit, and Daniels' character has kind of gone above James Storm's character, in my opinion, I'm kind of wondering here if they're going to have Christopher Daniels win this match, because I do believe that him and Kaz have been doing some great work on Impact, and that does warrant some kind of victory, and maybe even some kind of near the main event kind of push for Christopher Daniels down the line. Just saying.
With this, I'm very looking forward to this for a few reasons. Number 1, Daniels is coming out of the tag team, maybe temporarily, going up against a main event or big name, being James Storm. He's actually doing something that I wanted to see from him for a while now, and now he's there. Yes, it makes me wonder, while Daniels is growing, where's Storm going? We have AJ possibly wanting to come back somewhere down the line, but which of these two will he face when he comes back? So there's so much going on with this one particular match that's got my interest wanting to see it.
Indeed, and I can't help but think that Storm is going to win this match. Call it a hunch, but I think Daniels and Kaz have been doing so many jobs on TV. I don't really see why Daniels is going to win this match, even though I feel he should. Maybe this will be the launching pad for James Storm going after the belt again. Who really knows? And this is a filler feud to keep them both on TV. But I fully expect James Storm to win here, personally.
I'm going to go just the opposite way, just because I want to have faith. I want to believe that Daniels is actually going to go somewhere, even though I think the fact they still got Kaz by his side, they're going to keep the tag team going.
Oh, there's a wager on that one, then. There we go. If James Storms wins, then I'm happy. If Daniels wins, he's happy, even though Daniels is my name. But there we go. The main event of this, even though it doesn't feel like the main event to us, because the Bully Ray, Brooke Hogan storyline and the Ace and Ace angle have clearly taken precedence over it. It's the World Heavyweight Championship three-way elimination match between Austin Aries, Jeff Hardy, and Bobby Roode. There are many factors that could be playing in here. We have Lockdown on the way. It seems like they're going to go down the Hardy and Austin Aries route from what it looks like on the poster. But the other question here being is Jeff Hardy going to stay with the company as his contract has gone? And could they even make Roode win here to face Storm for the title at Lockdown to have Storm win it? I mean, there are so many possibilities here. I can't help but feel that Roode is just there to do a job. Really?
Well, if we go down the route that Aries and Jeff Hardy are going to face each other at Lockdown, I think just because TNA feel that they're the drawing match, they're the ones that fans want to see. It is true because there's Hardy fans and Aries fans.
Even though we've seen it many times already.
Very true. But that could be the direction they go in. But the back and forth between those two, it's good. TNA know they've got something going there. But I think we need something different. And if we had like Hardy, Roode, or Aries, Roode, whatever way they're going to go down, or Roode even become the champion here, I think they need to finish off the Roode and Storm thing by having Roode, even if he's going to be a temporary champ, become the champion, and then Storm to find some time to beat him.
It's funny to think that whoever really wins this match, unless it's Roode versus Storm, which we've seen a couple of times now, you've got Aries Hardy, Aries Roode, which has happened again. Hardy and Roode has happened a couple of times now. So all these matches have kind of happened already, so we're really not getting anything new from it. So, to be honest, I feel that Bobby Roode is just there to do a job, and they're going to go to Jeff Hardy and Austin Aries at Lockdown. But who really knows where they're going to go from here? Right now at Genesis with this match, I feel that this will be the decision that will tell us whether Jeff Hardy is going to stay and what is going to main event Lockdown in March, personally. So I fully expect Jeff Hardy to win here, but if his contract is up and he doesn't win, either Aries or Roode will be great people to carry that belt onwards into 2013, in my opinion.
I do look forward to being a strong heel as the champion again, because Jeff Hardy's title run hasn't really worked for me. I've not really enjoyed it. So give it to Aries and Roode. At least you know it's going to be a better focus.
It's amazing how Jeff Hardy's run, considering he's like the best merch seller in the company and one of their biggest draws. How much of his title reign has felt like a mid-card title run? That's just all I'm going to say about that. Comment what you like about that down in the comment section below. But with it being an elimination match and the three guys in there who are very good workers, it should at least be a very good main event quality match, much like Daniels versus Storm. I
don't think Jeff Hardy will be the first to be eliminated, so it's going to be Jeff Hardy versus one of these two in the final, and then you can take the prediction from there.
Pretty much. So we'd like to hear your predictions on Genesis down in the comment section below. Who do you think are going to win the matches? What do you think they're going to be doing going into Lockdown? Because essentially Genesis to me feels like a filler pay-per-view before Lockdown, kind of like I believe Against All Odds was.
And do you feel that Buddy Ray is going to get a segment? Because he is on the poster involved in this show.
Yes, but they seem to be hyping up the TV show next week with the marriage way more than they were the pay-per-view, which kind of, doesn't really go with me very well, especially seeing as it's one of their only 4 pay-per-views they're going to be doing live in 2013. But there you go. Give us your thoughts on the pay-per-view and going into the pay-per-view down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching this video. Go check us out on TN Asylum as well. Leave you to NJ to do us another cranky little outro.
And for Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. I did it again, yes.
Enjoy, NJ.
Yeah, try and enjoy the pay-per-view. Until next time, YouTubers, thank you very much and goodbye.